Let's talk about S3 monitoring in detail. So there are various services through which you can monitor your S3 bucket. So why do you want to monitor first? Okay, so let's say you have one bucket, you can have many bucket mostly. So you want to know how much data is there. You want to track the request activity and the performance of the bucket. You want to detect the errors and failures. And differently, you need some auditing and compliance purpose. You want to see what kind of data is there. You want to see the cost and usage for the bucket. So there are many reasons that for which you need monitoring over the S3. So let's explore one by one, and we'll also do hands-on on few of the services. We cannot do all of the services, but I'll try to cover the maximum hands-on that we can do for the S3 monitoring. So one thing you can do is enable the metrics. So when you create a bucket, you get certain metrics available on the S3. So there are various metrics. Let's say bucket size. So there is a metrics on the storage, there is a metrics on the request. So you can see bucket size, number of objects, all request, get request, 4 access errors. So all those metrics you can get it. So you can also configure the metrics that you want to see, and you can get it over the CloudWatch metrics. So based on the metrics, you can definitely create your CloudWatch dashboard. You can set an alarm, you can get a notification via the SNS and email. So that is one useful thing that you can do with the metrics for the S3 monitoring. And another one will be the storage lens. So storage lens will give you the organization wide visibility. Okay, so the metrics could be specific to your bucket, but storage lens will give you visibility into all of your bucket that you have in your organization. You'll get the storage summary, trend, projection, top buckets, prefixes, accounts, all those things. Okay, so we'll see how the storage lens looks like. Then we can definitely create an inventory which will give you the daily, weekly list of objects in your bucket, and it's very important to that will tell you that how your object or the bucket size is increasing. So you can get details on the size, storage class, encryption, replication status, last modified date, etc. And this will get delivered as a CSV ORC pack to your another S3 bucket. Okay, and it's very important information that you can use for the auditing compliance purpose. And there is one more service, CloudTrail, which is not very specific. It's a common service used for the auditing, but you can also enable CloudTrail for all the API call made to your S3. So this is very important that in the CloudTrail we will cover in the future sessions about the CloudTrail. You can capture data events, management events, and then you can log those events in the S3 bucket and visualize them over the Athena or CloudWatch. Then there is a event notification, right? So we saw the event notification for the S3. So you can send an event out of S3 based on the various operations or activities performed on the S3 bucket. We have the server access logging, so we can enable server access logging for a particular bucket, and this log will provide details for the request, operations, status code, byte sense, referrer, etc. And we can configure in a target bucket where these logs will be delivered, and we can view the logs over there as well. And AWS config is again a common service in AWS, not very specific to AWS, but you can monitor the drift for your bucket. If somebody if you want to configure and monitor your bucket configuration, right? So like public access, versioning, encryption. So if tomorrow someone accidentally make your public bucket public, right? So you don't need to go and check the bucket property. You can directly get some trigger from the AWS config, and you'll come to know, okay, this S3 bucket is now public, and we need a manual action, or we can also trigger the automated action to make it private. Amazon Masi is again a common service, but this can help you discover and protect the sensitive information. So let's say you have some sensitive information stored on S3 accidentally, so Amazon Masi can scan through it and will tell you that what kind of so it can find PI, it can find credentials, financial data, it can generate findings and alerts and all. So it helps with the compliance, because there are various compliance for which we cannot store the sensitive information on the S3 buckets. This services helps detecting them. And the last one is the cost monitoring, right? So you can track and optimize S3 cost. So this is again a common service. So AWS Cost Explorer that we will discover in the future section, where you can monitor cost for S3 bucket, and you can take decision based on that. Okay, So these are very comprehensive like list of services that you can use to monitor your S3. There are few services which are common and they are used for other services as well for monitoring and auditing purpose. So this is about the S3 monitoring overall. What we will do hands-on on the various options that I have listed here, so that we'll get a better idea of on the S3 monitoring. So watch out for the next session where we will do the hands-on in detail, and it will help you as well. Thank you.